Hello everyone, welcome to another challenge run. If you've already seen the XCOM Officers Only run, welcome back. And you could have probably guessed this would happen. If you haven't seen the XCOM Officers Only video, do check it out after this one. Today it's EXVENT Stun Lancers. The rules are pretty much the same as before. Commander difficulty, honest man, and most importantly, EXVENT Stun Lancers in combat only. EXVENT Stun Lancers are much different from officers. They can equip either a rifle or a shotgun as a primary and have a stun baton for close range as a secondary. So they're basically early game rangers, right? Wrong. See, the Stun Lancers have to use both actions to use the stun baton. It's basically like the sharpshooter with their sniper rifle, because they also have to use both their actions to fire it. But the Lancers, in comparison to the normal Rangers, also have a stun and disorientation chance by default, and I think even a chance of knocking a target unconscious. And on top of that, they basically have bending read. Yes, that's right. They can move after attacking with the stun baton. And the stun baton has a 100% hit chance, at least I think that is. And that is insane. So yeah, this run should have an easier early game than the last one, right? The first gorilla op is up, and let's see how good this run will be. We have to retrieve an item from an explosive box and have 2 pods in our line of sight. And this trooper here just defies laws of physics as he float walks down the ladder and then proceeds to stand horizontally. Now that's the scariest trooper I've ever seen. We kick things off by shooting the captain. We then grenade the sectoid and zap the captain, magic trooper and sectoid with our lances, and the last trooper misses his attack on Virgil. The rest of the mission is pretty easy and we make it out with no injuries. Next up is the first rescue the VIP mission with the Lost, and only one thing is really worth noting here.
Lemon.
Yeah, I still think it's kind of funny. The first retaliation is up, and let's see who our first chosen is. The assassin. A nice change of pace. And the good news I forgot to mention about our stun lancers is we can use both the assassin's shotgun and the warlock's rifle, since they can both either equip a rifle or a shotgun as primary. Now the assassin's strengths are brutal and shadow step, and her weaknesses are shell shocked and skirmishers. Now we deal with a priest and a trooper, then activate a sectoid and another trooper before she decides to drop in to say hi. She hits and dazes Top Hat before we retaliate and hit her with some stun lances in return. I have to say, I'm really enjoying the different gameplay style. The rest of the mission is relatively easy and we win again with no casualties. Next gorilla op, I go through this office building and knock out a stun lancer in the first pod, and then I end up in a similar situation to what happened to the EXVENT Officers Only run. I activate 2 pods at the same time. But our stun lancers handle it easily and I knock the priest and another trooper out. The difference between the last run and this run are really showing already, and it's crazy. Next supply raid is here and we actually dominate it. Despite the Lost being here, which would slow down our progress and guarantee us to lose some crates, we complete the mission without any losses, and we don't even lose a single supply crate. We unlock mag rifles at this stage and head out for the next resistance mission. This is rescue the VIP and survive the ambush mission. And what am I supposed to say? We absolutely destroy it and actually capture a lot of Advent units. We dominate the mission so hard that my game actually crashes, and also this happens. I got anime girls stuck in my basement. What? What the?
Hey ref, it's not even legal.
Where the what? Ever? I move among the reeds. Jesus
You know what?
Christ, you walk fast.
No
Aircraft carriers are actually fun to play.
Hey, guess what? There's no place that you can run that Mr. My Stun Lancer cannot reach. What up, gang? Next retaliation is up, and I will actually take the time to talk about the abilities our Stun Lancers get. On Corporal, they get either Heavy Hitter, which increases the chance of all effects like stun, disorientation, and unconsciousness by 1% for each kinetic charge we have. When an enemy is knocked unconscious by a stun lance attack, other enemies have a chance to panic. Or they can get Encore, which lets the Lancer apply a small amount of damage extra after a successful stun band attack if the target is still alive. On Sergeant rank, they can get either Pacify, which disables the target's weapon and removes an action point upon their turn, or they can get Gambit, which is a normal stun lance attack with a randomly generated aim penalty. If the attack kills the stun lancer, will have their actions refunded. And on Lieutenant rank, they can get Close Quarters, which increases the chance to stun, disorient, and knock a target unconscious by 50% when attacking with the stun lance within blue movement range, or they can get Excessive Force, which conserves damage for the next stun lance attack after another stun lance attack. Next up is another supply raid, and we also win it without any casualties, though we do take some unnecessary injuries because of some usual XCOM style misses, but I know better than to rant about it. Sector reaches Captain rank by now, and on Captain rank the Stun Lancers can get either Rude Awakening, which attacks units with a mental effect for big damage, but removes all negative traits and effects. This can also be used on allies to remove their mental effects, but it only deals a single point of damage. The other ability is Brutalize, which lets you attack a target with a stun lance up to 3 times with a slight aim penalty each strike. Next council mission is up, and the assassin decides to visit us again.
You lack nuance.
But she does get a turn, and Bob is left on 1 HP, but we'll deal with her easily. We also skulljack a captain and defeat the Codex, but one thing I'm starting to notice is that the enemies are getting higher health pools, and our stun lances can't keep up with that, so that could develop into a problem soon. Next retaliation strike is up, and we are facing Berserker. I forgot they're still Armstrong. Anyways, first part of a Muton and the Viper surprisingly enough target us instead of the civilians. I think it was because they didn't have line of sight, otherwise I couldn't explain this behavior. The mission is relatively easy, the Armstrongs just get mostly stunned by our lances, and we one-shot the Faceless with a lance attack. We actually knock an Armstrong unconscious, and that panics 2 of the Mutons. Other than that, the mission is cleared with no casualties. Next supply raid is up, and it annoyed me since I actually plan to assault the Assassin's Stronghold soon. This mission has the automated defenses sitrep, and speaking of the Assassin, she also decides to visit us here. So this mission could be a problem, right? Well, between blue screen rounds and our stun lances, we massacred the mission with minimal injuries. We get plasma rifles, and now it's time to take the Dreadlock lady down. We encounter an Archon and 2 troopers. We take down the 2 troopers, but the Archon hits Secto for 6 HP damage, but we take it down on our next turn and move on. We just waltz through a Stun Lancer, Priest, Mech, and Purifier, and also a pot of Chrysalids, and now it's time to face the Assassin. Taking her down isn't too hard, but then focusing her sarcophagus turns out to be a little rougher than I expected. We do take a few turns to destroy it before she can return. We had to fend off a Priest, Trooper, Spectre, and Armstrong who did make it a little harder on us. Since I don't want to kill my vocal cords like in the last video, I will speed up the footage and lay some music here so you can see the fight for yourselves. So yeah, we do manage to take the assassin out after quite a battle and almost suffered casualties. But thankfully we didn't. After the stronghold, similar to last run, we get a guerrilla op shortly after, and we can only deploy 3 healthy soldiers on this one. This did worry me, but I also felt not nearly as tense as in last run. I figured if we get some good stuns and other effects on the enemies, we should be fine. So let's put it to the test. And despite some bad pod activations, we utilize the environment to block line of sight. We do almost take a loss, but we somehow survive, and same as the assassin fight, I will speed up the footage with music. Don't worry, I will not overdo it. I figure it's time to knock down the avatar progress a little, so I decide to attack the black site. We deal with part of a codex and a sectoid, and then badly activate 2 heavy mechs, a codex, a shield bearer, 2 troopers, and 2 turrets. This is really bad. I have to move Virgil back, otherwise he will get torn apart by the enemy's next turn, and he goes down to mech Overwatch. That stings this late into the run. We take out a mech, codex, and shield bearer, but then the other mech hits Bob with its missiles, and he also goes down to a trooper. We clear the rest of the enemies except the turrets, which I just decide to leave where they are. We take down the usual mech pod inside the facility, and then are faced with an Archon and 2 sectoids. We take down the sectoids, but the Archon is out of visual range and goes for blazing pinions. We wait for it to come back down, but then it takes a shot at Kawakaze and kills her. I was very shocked, and this was also the first time I ever heard Central say this line.
Abbiamo un caduto!
Commander, we can't afford to take losses like this. The objective isn't worth the lives of our remaining troops. I'd recommend we abort while we still can.
We take down the Archon, grab the vial, demolish the reinforcements with pure pain and hatred. And I actually decide to go back to carry our fallen comrades back home. It just felt wrong to leave them here. We come back and to see this picture here is very painful. We don't get a chance to mourn as the aliens continue to make progress on the Avatar project. And it goes so far that we are one block away and then a resistance op in the region with the only facility we can attack pops up. Look at our barracks here. We can't deploy on this mission and hit the facility right after. Not to mention, there is an alien ruler guarding this facility here. So I decide to make one of the hardest and at the same time dumbest decisions I've ever come up with. I send Top Hat out alone on a suicide mission to take down the facility. I figure maybe he can just sneak around and in, but the map is an Orwig, so the map path is pretty linear. I try to sneak around and just run past the enemies once they spot us, but that doesn't go well. So Top Hat is also gone now. Our barracks is down to now only 7. And I thought the run was over here, but I was determined to at least see how long we could still hold on. Now, we thankfully could reduce the Avatar progress by 2 due to a covert op, and we get another covert op for a breakthrough on our beam weapons. +1 damage will be very good. The next guerrilla op, I send out 1 soldier yet again to at least try and stop the dark event, and the lucky one for this is Gun. We need to sabotage a transmitter and we have 4 turns to get there. Thankfully we have the location scout sitrep, which allows us to see the entire map. And we actually managed to sneak past all the enemies and sabotage the transmitter just in time before we evac out. We do get another shot at hitting a facility, and now we send out the full squad. We have the assassin's shotgun now, so maybe this will help us. We will face an alien ruler on this mission. I just hope it's not a bad one. We see our first part of a lancer and a mech. We also find a purifier, Andromedon, and shield bearer, and we also find the ruler, the Viper King. Thankfully it gets out of line of sight before our squad gets spotted by flank. But now we have 5 active enemies to deal with. However, through some miracle, we survive and take them all down without any major injuries. And then I inch forward slowly. I do not want to have the Viper King activate on our turn. And here he comes, patrolling into us.
Wie viele waren das jetzt? King is
Glaive, you absolute unit. You just saved us from heavy injuries or losses with that execution. I was actually almost going to cry from the sheer relief I felt here. We push on and encounter a mech, captain, and trooper. We take them all down, and Okayu here has Kawakaze's weapon and now will carry on her legacy. We plant the X4 and then get out of here and leave the facility to blow up. and the explosion of the building actually lined up with the music I was listening to. That fits so well with the music, damn. We get hit with a council mission, but we only have 4 soldiers to deploy. But we need to win this mission desperately because we need the intel. So we suit up and set off. We take the first pod out and then face the second one. And the priest actually gets panicked after we knock out a trooper. So we are golden and we also knock it out to kidnap it. We find the enemy VIP and knock it out. We then encounter a pod of an Archon and 2 Vipers. We stun the Archon and take down both of the Vipers. Reinforcements drop in, and from here I will just let live footage speak for the rest of the mission.
Ce l'ha Advent.
And the mech as well. Shit. Please go for blading pinions. Yes! Yes! Oh, I've never been so happy for him to do this.
Menace 1-5, hostile interceptors are on high-speed approach. Your window for extraction is closing.
Run.
Molto bene. Va malissimo.
You live? Ooh. Dodged. One can get out.
Sono stufo di aspettare. Okay.
You know what? Take it down. Nice.
A che quota siamo ormai?
The loot doesn't matter to me.
This is Firebird.
Not at this
VIP
stage.
is secure.
Nähere mich der Zielposition. Mi attaccano sui fianchi.
Overwatch on the troop. Do not grenade. Do not grenade.
Ah, brucio!
Shit.
Inizio a sudare qui!
How much damage? 8 to 9. I'm taking one for the team.
Verstanden. Bin unterwegs.
It didn't trigger Overwatch. Are you fucking kidding me?
Packen wir die Sachen. Era ora. Non riesco a muovermi.
Posizione confermata. Pronto a tornare.
So yeah, we managed to win. I skipped the next retaliation strike and guerrilla up. I decide to go back to the facility where we lost Top Hat. This time there won't be an alien ruler, but we will have to deal with the hunter this time around. And we will also have to deal with our first sectopod. We start the mission and deal with the first enemies. Then I take the lower level knowing the sectopod is above. Then we trigger the hunter, and while we try to get rid of him, we also activate the sectopod. From here I will let footage speak for me again because I will not go through my every move in detail, and it may just as well save us some time. After all of that, we have just suffered through with no casualties, and mostly thanks to Untouchable on some of our soldiers. Next, supply rate is up and we fight the Warlock for the first time. Everything goes alright until we get to him. We exchange a few hits and he goes into stasis, summoning his Lancers, and Influx gets taken down by a Lancer. We take the Warlock down next turn and we win the mission. The Avatar project is breathing down my neck again, and I decide that I have to hit the Forge facility as a mission pops up in the region. So we set up and attack the Forge, and we actually can move quite far before we encounter our first enemies. They're easy pickings for us, and we then have the Warlock show up on the mission. I still got a score to settle with you. We take down the Priest and the Sectopod patrols into us, but it goes down within 3 attacks. We push on around the building. I want the Warlock gone as soon as possible, but then a Captain, Purifier, and Trooper patrol into us. We take them down and move on. Before we can engage the Warlock, we find an Andromedon and 2 Codexes. After we deal with them, it is time to fight him. He summons in 2 Priests and uses Mind Scourge on Secto and Peter. We deal with the Priests and the Shell and revive our dazed soldiers. The Warlock's immunity to melee is really limiting our options. He mind controls Gun next turn and I don't want him to do that. So I run in to use Pacify on him, which works. Then we try our best to take him down, but we still can't do it. I run our soldiers into the building. My hope is that Gun will not be able to attack us. But then the Warlock teleports him into the facility. He runs up to us and then shoots Dante and sends him into bleed out. The Warlock then mind controls Okayu, and now I was furious. I run in for rapid fire with Secto and do damage to the Warlock for the first time, and for half of his HP as well. I hope the evac spawns close enough, so I open the stasis container so we can at least maybe save Dante before he bleeds out. Now the game says no, and Dante is as good as gone. The Warlock goes into stasis and summons his Spectral Lancers, but they aren't immune to melee attacks, so we pick them off easily one by one. And that shows how heavily we actually rely on melee. We do manage to take the bastard down, and then Advent reinforcements drop in. They aren't a big problem, however, but we lost yet another soldier. We need to get rid of the Warlock soon, otherwise he may just continue to pick us off one by one. I actually almost forget to grab the objective, and I'll run back quickly to get it before we evac. We win this one, just with another casualty. I skip the next Guerrilla op and ready to hit the Warlock stronghold, but then the Avatar progress fills up to full and I'm forced to do something. Thankfully, a covert op to reduce the Avatar progress exists. Wait, why did 3 blocks remove? Alright, I still have the resistance order active that reduces Avatar progress at the end of each month. So I sold the Warlock's stronghold a little later than I wanted to, but now we're going to hunt him down for good. So we're here, and we are driven by this desire for revenge. And unfortunately for all the enemies on our way to the Ascension Chamber, they don't have melee immunity. So we tear through every enemy in our path and reach the Ascension Chamber in no time. It's time. Warlock, count your days because you're going down. I think this is a great time to just let you enjoy the chaos again, so have fun with the footage.
I'm hanging on to the other side. I won't give up till the end of me.
Hey, I've got a gift for you. Comes from Dante and Influx. Do you think that would save you? Yeah, it won't. Goodbye, asshole.
Abschuss!
Oh, that felt personal. Good riddance indeed. We also took down the Hunter. It was much harder than the Warlock stronghold, mainly because the Hunter was a long range, and I actually have to be honest, this is the first time in a run where the Hunter was actually a real threat. I wish the footage wasn't lost, because I also skulljacked the Codex in the stronghold, and I fought the avatar that spawned from it. Oh well, guess there's nothing I can do. It's time to the gate mission, and my plan is very unusual and a first for me. I have my entire team equip battle scanners to locate the hidden chrysalids, and the plan works well. But we do encounter the Archon King. Huh. I didn't even know rulers can spawn on these missions. Well, here we go into absolute horror and hell. We take a couple of nasty hits, but thankfully we managed to punch the king back into retreat without losing anyone. The rest of the mission is relatively easy, and this last chrysalid tried to sneak around my line of sight and tried to attack from the side. But it didn't expect my overwatches. Nice try, little chrysalid, but you still failed. Now, I rush all the story research as quickly as I can. The UFO hasn't spawned in until fairly late into the campaign, and if I'm lucky, I may be able to avoid the base defense mission. I even skip every mission that pops up at this point. And here we are. I have to be honest, I never expected us to get this far. So I think it's time to wrap this one up and take revenge, or die trying. Time for the network tower. It's nothing but a cakewalk, even with limited soldiers, so I think it may be time to wrap this one up for good. Alright, let's get this done. First pod consists of 2 Armstrongs, but they could just get taken down easily before they can do anything. Next up is a sector pod and 2 shield bearers, and they get demolished as well. Next up is 2 Archons, and they also aren't a problem. Then, however, the game throws a rock in my way, as I activate 2 Archons, 4 Codexes, and 4 Mutons. We take down an Archon with Brutalize and take down 3 of the Codexes. We stun another Archon, and now it's time for the enemies to attack back. 2 of the Mutons suppress Gun and Okayu, and the others both shoot at Gun and hit him, for only grazes thankfully. The Codex psionic bombs us, but our lances don't care about that. The other Codex clone goes on Overwatch, and now it's time for us to strike again. Sector takes out the Codex on Overwatch, and it gets inflicted with Unconscious, which panics 3 of the Mutons. We then deal with the remaining enemies one by one. Then we pull apart 4 Vipers, and then also activate 2 Gatekeepers and 2 more Codexes. And that actually gives me just a little sweat. I take down the Vipers and then decide to fall back as far out of range as I can. My hope is to avoid the gateway attack, and we actually do, and one of the Gatekeepers only shoots at Gun for a graze, while the other is out of actions. We stun one of the Gatekeepers and take out the other one. We also take out one of the Codexes and deal with the rest next turn. In the final chamber, I will just shut up and let you watch the final fight, mainly because I want to still not destroy my vocal cords, and it may just be better to have the footage speaking for itself, given how much I've done at this run already. So, what a better finisher than to do this.
I'm here to go beyond my limit, not to compromise. And you can tell me if I mean it, looking in my eyes. Cause I've been waiting for my moment to strike. So come close, let me show you what it's like. Yeah, you can try to stand in my path, but you're gonna regret it. I'll be the one who laughs last while I'm making my exit. Cause this is only for the strong of heart, not if you get it. And no matter what the outcome, you better accept it. I can cut like the shell, I can bury the pain. So go down for a second, just get out of my way. Push it in your shell, I'm not letting it go. So take this as a lesson, cause it's all that we know.
Will the whole world know your name? When we dance with destiny. I've been there and I've seen it. I'm never gonna stop believing. You'll find your flame. Oh, we can save the day. Not die. We won't back
I'm here to go beyond my limit, not to compromise. And you can tell me if I mean it, looking in my eyes. Cause I've been waiting for my moment to strike. So come close, let me show you what it's like. Yeah, you can try to stand in my path, but you're gonna regret it. I'll be the one who laughs last while I'm making my exit. Cause this is only for the strong of heart, not if you get it. And no matter what the outcome, you better accept it. I can cut like the shell, I can bury the pain. So go down for a second, just get out of my way. Push it in your shell, I'm not letting it go. So take this as a lesson, cause it's all that we know.
Will the whole world know your name? When we dance with destiny.
This is for Bob, Kawakaze, Dante, Virgil, Top Hat, our one fallen comrade, and Influx.
Cause in the end, it's you and your friends. You'll find your
Habt ihr das gesehen?
And here we have it. I can indeed beat XCOM 2 War of the Chosen using only EXVENT Stun Lancers in combat. This run was something much different than I had hoped. It may be one of the best runs in terms of telling a story that I've ever played. I thought midway through that I was done with no more hope, but then we came back stronger than ever. With that said, however, I hope you liked this run as much as I did. If you did, drop a like and comment to show me how much you did, and if you feel generous enough, you can subscribe. It's free and only costs a click. With that said, I wish you all a lovely Christmas and a Happy New Year.